Hello, welcome to AVS 2020. You are in the session on UL 4600. As you know, UL 4600 is the first technical standard designed to address the safety issues of autonomous driving. In this session, we will cover what UL 4600 is, who is it for, how it should be applied. My name is Junko Yoshida. I'm your moderator today. I'm the editor-in-chief of Koopman Core Media. So today we have three fabulous guests on our panel. First, we have lead author of UL 4600, Phil Koopman. Phil is CTO of Edge Case Research. He is also associate professor at Carnegie Mellon University. We're also lucky to have Chris Mullen, director of Uber ATG Safety Standards. We are also joined by Benjamin Lewis, Alliance Director of Liberty Mutual Insurance. Now, to kick off our discussion, we have asked Phil to give us a brief overview of UL 4600. Following Phil's remarks, we will have short introductions by Uber's Chris and Liberty Mutual's Ben.
Hi, I'm Phil Koopman from Edge Case Research, and I'm going to do a whirlwind intro to the UL 4600 safety standard for autonomous vehicles. Let's start with the basics of UL 4600. This is a standard issued by Underwriters Laboratories, which is a nonprofit standards development organization. The standard was approved by a standards technical panel that includes developers, suppliers, universities, government, insurance, assessors, international representation, and so on. UL 4600 was issued in April 2020 for light vehicles. Another version is underway as of summer 2020, and a new version for trucks, 4600-2, also is starting off in summer 2020. UL 4600 takes a goal-based approach. So rather than saying this is how you have to do the various tasks, it talks about what the goals are to make sure you've done whatever tasks you choose to do properly and with enough coverage to ensure safety. It works with other standards to avoid gaps in the safety approach. The strategy of UL 4600 is that it standardizes the safety case assessment approach. Well, what's a safety case? A safety case generically has some claims. What does safe mean? It has some arguments. Why do we think our vehicle is safe? And it has some evidence. Where's the data? 4600 helps make sure that the evidence actually supports the arguments and that the arguments actually support the claims. So rather than being a big pile of documents, this results in a structured argument that someone else can understand and say, yes, indeed, it looks to me like the claims are true. It has extensive lists of preceded hazards to say, yes, this is something you should worry about. Now, maybe it doesn't apply to you, but did you think of that? Did you make sure you covered it to reduce the chance of a missed hazard? Finally, 4600 takes a system-level approach to safety. Now, why would you need to do that? A lot of the emphasis has been on driving safety. And you have functional safety. What if there's a fault inside the vehicle? And you have safety of the intended function, SOTIF. What if there's something strange going on in the environment? Sure, those are important, and UL 4600 says you have to do them, and includes a chapter specifically about machine learning and autonomy to make sure you cover those as well. But in fact, self-driving cars to be safe need to do more than just drive down the road. The issue is there's no captain of the ship, so to speak. So here's a nice kid, cute kid, kid's in the car seat. Is it okay to go? Well, no, of course not. There's no seatbelt. Somebody or something has to be in charge of all the things that are other than driving that also affect the safety outcomes. That includes life cycle things. What about making sure maintenance gets done, handling incidents? What about infrastructure? What about if the cloud computers go down and you're depending on them for an HD map update? What about other road users? And also the environment. You have to detect operational design domain violations and do something reasonable about them. Rather than assuming that everything will be perfect on the first day, 4600 adopts a feedback approach. The idea is that It's unlikely you will think of absolutely everything possible on the first day, and even if you do, the world will change out from under you, so you're going to have field feedback. The feedback largely takes the form of SPIs, Safety Performance Indicators. For example, in this picture, there's a kid next to an adult, and the perception system does not see the kid but does see the adult. Well, that kid is not going to get hit by the self-driving car because the car will avoid the adult. But what you would like is some feedback from the field knowing that you got lucky so you can fix the root cause problem before in the future the kid runs out into the street and you get unlucky because you had no idea the kid was there. SPIs measure several things. One is the system behaving safely? But another one that's just as important is, are the assumptions in the safety case true? Is our assumption that we've accounted for all the possible objects in the environment actually true, or are we seeing things that we can't classify, but we're getting lucky so we didn't worry about it? Also, does the field data look like we expect it to? There are feedback loops required by 4600 to diagnose and fix the root cause of alerts caused by SPIs. The feedback not only helps you fix bugs with the design, but also helps you fix problems with the safety case and improves your risk evaluation. You can find more documents, more extensive tutorials, and the ability to view the standard for free at the below web address. With that, I'd like to thank the organizers for inviting us to this panel, and I look forward to an interesting discussion.
Hi, I'm Chris Mullen, Director of Safety Standards for Uber Advanced Technologies Group, or Uber ATG, and I'm pleased to participate in this panel and very excited to discuss this topic with the other panelists. Interestingly, ATG open-sourced our safety case framework at this very conference in Orlando last year. At that time, our CEO Eric Mayhofer noted, "We feel a responsibility to foster open public dialogue around our safety approach for the testing and development of self-driving vehicles." That sentiment remains true today, and in the spirit of our continued commitment to transparency, we are releasing our updated safety case framework. I've been in the auto industry for a couple of decades now, and this is the first time I've seen a company adopt this type of safety case-based approach. It's also great to see that we're starting to develop some traction in the industry with the publication of UL 4600. As Phil explained in his introduction, a safety case is a structured argument supported by evidence to convince key stakeholders, whether they are regulators, competitors, or the general public, that the risk of harm from a system has been reduced to an acceptable level. Our safety case starts with a simple primary argument, that our SDV is acceptably safe to operate on public roads. This primary argument is supported by our 5 core principles: proficient, fail-safe, continuously improving, resilient, and trustworthy. We recently revised our safety case framework to be compatible with UL 4600. Last year's version contained approximately 600 nodes. With the recent revision, and in the spirit of our principle of continuously improving, we are up to over 3,000 nodes. So ever evolving in its complexity and robustness. While understanding the many facets of a safety case framework is important, just as important is understanding how to apply it or tailor it to a specific product or program. As I'm sure we'll cover in the panel discussion, after you decide, did we think of this or that? Then you have to decide, did we do this or that and how well? This is where tailoring and assessment come in. Those 3,000 nodes represent the full safety case framework. Obviously, that's a lot of engineering and evidence to produce, control, and collect. Our approach isn't to accomplish all of that at once, but rather to tailor portions of the framework that reflect how development progresses, from public road testing with vehicle operators, to track testing without vehicle operators, and finally NVO on public roads. This means producing multiple safety cases, each applicable and relevant to specific operational domain or set of constraints. This approach enables us to ensure that the safety case iterates with the development. Finally, the safety case is assessed for completeness of arguments and credibility and accuracy of the evidence to support. I look forward to the discussion with this panel and to the continued discussion within the industry of how to achieve a safe self-driving system.
Hello, my name is Ben Lewis and I am an Alliance Director on the Automotive and Mobility Strategic Partnerships team at Liberty Mutual Insurance, where I lead business development and alliance management with a focus on automated vehicles and mobility as a service. At Liberty Mutual, we are endeavoring to be a leading insurance and risk management partner to incumbents and innovators in the new mobility ecosystem, including those developing automated vehicle technologies. To do this, we have created a cross-functional group, the Mobility Pod, which spans across Liberty Mutual to bring to bear our full capabilities to help partners in new mobility embrace today and confidently pursue tomorrow. Additionally, as a member of the STP, we have taken part in establishing UL 4600 as the first standard to directly address the safety of automated driving systems. For us, this was an important effort to materially move automotive safety innovation forward, something that Liberty Mutual has done for almost 100 years now. Additionally, UL 4600 holds importance for us because it brings standardization to assessing the safety cases that EV developers present to stakeholders like insurance companies. And furthermore, as Phil explained, it provides a structured and substantiated argument that we can use to inform risk assessment and to collaborate with our partners on risk management and mitigation. I'm excited to join you all today and our panelists to talk more about Liberty Mutual's involvement in establishing UL 4600 and our support for the safety of AV technologies. Thank you.